Good morning. So yesterday I mentioned that I hate having free time, but I didn't really explain this in much detail. Basically, I hate just sitting and doing nothing, not progressing my life in any way. Because of this, I fill my life with projects and work and anything to keep me busy. I realized that I am most efficient when I have more work than there is time available. And this is when I'm also happiest, because there's nothing worse than being bored. And that is the one thing I always try just to not say. Sometimes it just happens, but I'm so against being bored and having nothing to do that I never want that to be the case ever. So right now, in my life, I have 3 things that take up the majority of my time. I have my school. I'm doing my master's right now. I have work, which is a business I'm starting, which I will talk about, I'm sure, at some point. And also a place that's similar to what I do in my business. I put in hours and help them out on occasion. It's not like a full-time thing. And I have my hobbies, which is the vlogging and the daily Instagram, which is basically just how I force myself to take pictures every day, or at least post and work on pictures every day. So right now, haven't been in a few days. I'm going to head up to my school, and I have some work that I need to do on my master's project. So let's get to that, and maybe I'll get to some other things later. Let's go. Floors in here are really smooth. I'm gonna go over and see Carrie. Hopefully this wind filter is working. Came over to see, whoa, almost fell. Came over to see Carrie, but she's gone already. She was at this building, and that's my building, over there. All right, time to go back. I'm picking up a new cooler for my computer because I've been doing like a lot of been talking a lot in my room, and the fan noise is really annoying. Also, when I process things, it's also very annoying. And also, I just like cool computer stuff, so I feel like getting one. Okay, well, I'm back home right now, and before I install this new cooler in my PC, I wanted to talk about the time that I realized that having a lot of work made me more productive. And that sounds, well, I mean, that doesn't sound unrealistic, like having more work maybe means you have to do more things. But having more work actually makes me do more things, like be more creative and come up with more projects. I realized this in my final year of undergrad. I was so tired of going out, drinking, going to bars. It was the last thing I wanted to do. I hate spending money at the bar, and I just didn't have fun ever. So at that point, I decided that one, I was going to stop really partying and doing all that. Two, I decided to just quit drinking because I hated spending money at the bar. I thought it was just a waste. So that was about 2 years ago. I wanted to, what little money I had, use that towards my projects. And three, devote all of my time to these projects. And that means being as productive as possible. So all my time would go to doing work. And that sounds crazy. But the thing is, I enjoy the work. It's not like I'm going to some 9-to-5 job. It is work that is like a passion to me. And that's what makes it so great. So instead of doing those things, I decided to just work on these projects and work on these ideas that I had. And what came from it was pretty awesome. The first idea was actually because of the Mythbusters challenge to become an apprentice. And for whatever reason, there's a lot of thought process, but I had an idea to harvest body heat to produce electricity. And I designed a ring, and that ring was in Popular Science, which I'll show you. And from there, that took me to a talk in San Francisco, like a really big talk, way bigger than I was expecting, talking about my ring and the potentials of it. And it's not a new idea, but it was like the first time I think it's really been shown in that context, and it was really just a proof of concept. The next thing I worked on during my last year of undergrad was what I call the PityBot. And it's a little bouncing robot that can teach about control theory to students. There's a whole episode I could talk about just on that robot. But the thing is, all this happened while I had 6 or 7 classes. I think I had 7 classes at one point. I was doing these projects while I had the classes. When I was procrastinating from my classes, those were the things I was working on. And that's what made me realize that I don't ever not want to be working. I always want to have something to do. And yeah, that's just the way I go about things now. I do not want to just sit around and do nothing, ever. Okay, let's get back to doing something. Here's the magazine I was in. That's the article and my ring. Carrie made that for me. She's awesome. I got the computer back together, and everything seems to be working pretty well. It's really quiet right now, which is great. It's like way quieter than before, but I think it's a lot louder at like full load, so might have to get some better fans. I don't know. because the whole point was for it to be quieter when it's doing some work, but quieter at idle is also good. So we'll see how that works out. But I can use this with other things too, so it's not a total loss. And yeah. So, you know me, I'm a fan of the sunset, so I'm gonna go take my bike out and set up a time lapse or two. Maybe take a picture. Who knows? Will you come along? So there aren't as many clouds out tonight as I hoped, but I managed to get some, I think I'm getting some cool pictures here. And I just met another photographer, videographer, I don't know. Think a bit about, just like me. Pretty cool. What a lovely night for a bike ride. I hope my wind filter's working. Probably is. I just saw a mink. I got it on my Snapchat, but not on this camera. So, you should add me on Snapchat to see that. I think it's below, I don't know. Sean Hodgins, one word. Anyways, if the wind filter's not working, you're not hearing any of this. But it's a pretty sweet day. I got to tell you about how I work. Not really. Just that I enjoy working a lot. So, hope you enjoyed today's vlog. And I guess that's it. Someone freaking me out behind me. Your turn. Anyways, I guess that's it. So be good and good night.